This is really bad. In this case, justice and revenge go hand in hand. Do you want to join me?
Taking the stand is the only real weapon that we have in our arsenal.
Wants to prove I'll never have to think about you again.
You want to tell me what the hell that was about?
Drew totally had it coming. Messing with Jason and his people? Big mistake. Team Jason forever. Meanwhile, Christina's still hung up on taking down Ava over that one bad choice. But has anyone in the sunny Ava orbit actually mentioned this custody case? Spoiler, no. Oh, and is everyone just fine letting Jagger's killer wander free? The writers really did a number on Drew. Once upon a time, he was a Navy SEAL with a mysterious past. Then he turned into a family man, got tangled up in politics, and now he's a total sleaze, and we're supposed to buy this whole affair with Willow? I mean, it is a soap, but come on. At this point, they've dragged Drew so far down the slime trail that the only exit for him is out of town. He was actually decent when he was with Carly, now he's insufferable. Honestly, Drew's a terrible excuse for a family man. So much for being there for Scout. Off he goes to DC, while I'm over here hoping Jason steps up for both Scout and Danny. I'm fast-forwarding through all Drew scenes. Watching him makes my stomach turn. But at least we got some satisfaction. First Cody's punch, then Jason's knockout. That is exactly what Drew deserves. Now, if only they channel that energy towards Willow, the anger, not the punches, obviously. She's just as guilty as the creeper. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. When Drew walked in and saw Jason waiting for him, oh, his face said everything. Go get him, Jason. Honestly, here's a plot twist I'd love to see, even if it couldn't last. Jason moving back to the penthouse with Dante and the kids. Just imagine it, the odd couple meets the mob. These two would actually work things out for their kids, unlike Drew, who apparently couldn't care less. And does Drew really think he's just going to take Scout to Washington with him? As if nothing's changed, he's over here talking about how much Sam means to him, yet hasn't done a single thing to keep Scout close to her family. Willow should be running in the opposite direction. Speaking of Willow, she's hardly innocent here, but somehow Drew is the one taking all the heat. Let's not forget, she's the married one. Jack, though, he's got Drew pegged. His big reveal to Carly about Drew being a total user was hands down the best moment of the episode. Wait until Carly finds out what Drew's been up to with Willow and Nina. She'll be ready to team up with Jack to take Drew down, and by the time Tracy and Ned are done with him, there won't be much of Drew left. If you ask me, Danny and Scout should go back to their family home with Rocco and Dante. That's their home, and it's where they belong, especially now as they adjust to all this. Dante's more than capable of handling things with support, and he'd give them stability, something they're never going to get from Drew and Jason. All these kids need a family that's united, not split up all over the place. They deserve to navigate this new reality together. And as for Nina, she can drop the act. She was totally into Drew until he went off and started messing around with Willow. I think she was a little jealous, hoping she could bang the attraction right out of him. Nice try, Nina. It's nice to see Jason finally getting some solid parenting advice on the living situation with Danny. Personally, I still think Danny should be living with Jason, but that's a little hard when Jason doesn't even have his own place right now. So, after watching today's episode, here's my take. Jason's likely moving into the Quartermain estate to stay close to Danny, which will keep Alexis happy too. I doubt Danny's going anywhere immediately, but in a few weeks, maybe. Especially since Lulu's waking up on Monday's show, and you know it's about to get awkward. I can totally see Dante moving out of Sam's penthouse, leaving Jason, Danny, and Scout free to live there together for the holidays. And with Drew heading to Washington, Jason's in prime position to step in for both kids. Oh, and Nina? She's about to get an up-close look at her perfect man's extracurricular activities, with everyone else in earshot. Lois, now's your moment. After Maxie's earlier confrontation with Nina, the showdown is going to be epic. Maxie's sass, served with her signature sarcasm, is exactly what Nina needs. Out in the middle of everything, Maxie's just going to blurt it out. So, have you told Willow that you slept with Drew yet? Maxie is officially Nina's voice of reason, her moral compass, and the ultimate reality check. Curtis? Well, he may need a backup plan for that job he's been hoping for. And wouldn't it be perfect if Carly had a front row seat to all of this after her conversation with Brennan? Those two, oh, they're just too good. Stop flirting, darling, we're in public. Can tomorrow hurry up already? Jason and Michael's friendship has always been rock solid. Jason's the one Michael can always count on, no matter what. Watching him listen patiently as Michael poured his heart out, saying all the right things with that calm, steady expression, classic Jason. And then, the perfect cliffhanger. Jason standing in the mansion entrance as Drew and Nina walked in. Tomorrow's showdown, can't wait. Meanwhile, Drew's sitting there, thinking he's on top of the world. He's basking in all this buzz, but little does he know, tomorrow's going to be a wake-up call, especially with Ned in the mix. And Nina? She's about to see a different side of the man she thought was perfect. Jason's not thrilled with Drew, especially where Michael's concerned. They're incredibly close. Jason helped raise him and has always treated him like family. Tomorrow, I have no doubt Jason will remind Drew of that in his own way. And as for Willow, it's tough to imagine her getting involved with Drew. If only Nina would be upfront about her own part in this situation. Willow may have a few things in common with her mother, after all. At least Michael brought this to Jason. Going to Sunny first would have caused an uproar. And Carly would be anything but pleased if she found out Willow had been keeping secrets. But it's worth remembering Sasha's own past with Michael and Chase. Once everyone learns the truth, it's sure to get complicated. There's even a chance that Willow and Sasha both end up with unexpected news, sparking some intense moments ahead. And if there are questions around paternity, maybe there's a twist with Sasha and Cody's family connection. Either way, it'll be a fascinating, drama-filled ride. It's funny how all these young people are living at the Quartermaine mansion, Gio, Rocco, Danny, and yet we hardly ever see them interact. It would be refreshing to get a scene with everyone under one roof for a change. While we're all eagerly waiting for Jason to finally confront Drew, that showdown is going to be epic. It's easy to forget one big detail: Nina's going to be there. If Jason starts spilling secrets, Nina might just learn that Drew's been hiding his involvement with Willow. It's about to get so good. And wait, did Drew just offer Michael the same job Curtis thought was his? Surely I misunderstood, right? It also seems inevitable that the writers will have Michael following in Sunny's footsteps eventually. And as soap timing goes, it usually only takes one moment for a new twist to pop up. The show could use some fresh material, though. The recent comeback with Lucky felt a bit forced, and if it was just to bring Holly back, it didn't quite hit the mark. Plus, the idea of two women competing for Robert? It's a stretch. If anything, bringing Max back for Diane would be a great move. And Trina, a strong character with so much potential, deserves a storyline that actually allows her to be happy. And maybe someone can finally take Anna down a notch. If she's supposed to be on top of her game, why hasn't she solved Austin's murder? There's a mystery to solve after all. The Drew and Willow storyline seems to be losing its spark. It feels like a good time to wrap it up. And I can only imagine how Hallmark would feel about the new turn in Drew's character. I'm just looking forward to Jason setting Drew straight and seeing Nina's reaction. As for Christina, it's exhausting to watch her dodge responsibility. She needs to acknowledge her own actions instead of casting blame on everyone else. I feel like Drew is due for a major reality check, especially after crossing such personal boundaries with his nephew's wife in the same house where his daughter lives. She's already been through so much, and the impact of all this on her could be serious. Drew needs to face some kind of reckoning here. And Willow? She's no longer in the clear, either. She's at an age where she should know better, and the innocent image they've built for her character seems to be gone now. Oddly enough, Drew and Willow could end up resembling Edward and Leela Quartermain. Edward wasn't perfect, and longtime viewers like me know this show has always had twists in family dynamics. Speaking of Sonny's world, it's curious that he keeps a restaurant, Pasilos, which is never actually open to the public. It's clearly a front, but if Sonny's trying to present himself as just a coffee importer, why keep such a closed business? As for Cameron Matheson, he's a talented actor, but this role as Drew doesn't quite feel like his best fit. The previous Drew looked and felt more like Jason, which kept the character grounded in the show's family lines. Maybe Cameron's personality would be more at home on a game show, where he's been great before. And with Willow, it's puzzling that she even attended the campaign party. Her presence there only complicates things, and she'd do herself a favor by staying away from Drew for now. As for Christina, her character's intense ups and downs hint that it might be time for a storyline addressing something like bipolar disorder, similar to her father. It would bring a deeper understanding to her character and some of her impulsive actions. It does seem like Lois is hiding something about Gio, but who knows if it's actually part of a bigger storyline or just a way to stir up some mystery. Every time they share a scene, Lois gives him these looks that suggest she might know more than she's letting on, maybe something about his family or past. For a while, I even wondered if BLQ could be Gio's mother from her teen years, with Camilla stepping in to raise him. That twist would mirror the Lysol Madeline Nathan storyline, where the birth mother remained hidden in the background while the child grew up in a completely different life. But then again, maybe it's all just drama bait, a way to keep viewers guessing. Lois and Gio don't have much else going on in terms of storylines, so maybe these looks are there just to keep us wondering about their connection. It felt like Gio might become a love interest for Trina or Joss, but the writers seem to have changed direction. With the shakeups in storylines, especially since Sam's storyline took priority when Tien left, it makes sense that Gio's story has been put on hold. For now, he's popping up in random scenes to keep him in the mix. That scene with Sasha and Chase had some great moments for Gio's character, showing a more playful side that I'd love to see more of. I'm hoping Lois's secret, whatever it is, comes out soon, because Gio's character definitely has potential if given a bigger arc. It's frustrating that Robert seems ready to leave Mac to pick up the pieces yet again. I expect drama from Holly. She has a history of stirring things up and leaving chaos in her wake. But with Robert, it's hard not to be disappointed. You'd think he'd want to support Sasha and make up for all those years he missed with Robin during some of her most challenging times. The whole storyline of making Sasha Robert's daughter seems pointless if the plan was just to have him leave her on her own, especially since Mac is always stepping up. Sasha has already been through so much, and it feels unfair to leave her with more tragedy to handle alone. The story could have gone in such a meaningful direction if Robert had stayed to build a relationship with her. If Tristan Rogers needs a break from the show, that's understandable, but this sudden departure feels confusing. Watching Robert suddenly dash off into the unknown, leaving Port Charles behind, felt a bit like a strange, soap opera version of Casablanca. They hinted he might return eventually, but the whole thing left a lot of questions. And with Holly's WSB connections, it's not impossible to imagine her pulling some strings to adjust the DNA results, maybe to bring Robert closer to her. It's ironic that Sasha is the reason they're back together, only for them to turn around and leave her. There's definitely some confusion in Holly's storyline with those diamonds. She did hand over the entire stash to Sonny, with the idea that he'd sell them. Logically, she should be able to sit tight, knowing Sunny would handle the sale and eventually give her the proceeds, especially since she claimed money was her main concern. Her sudden decision to leave town, despite the fact that Sunny could still sell the diamonds for her, feels like a bit of a plot hole. If she's really worried Sidwell will come back and threaten Sasha, you'd think she'd be more focused on ensuring Sasha's safety by staying connected to resources and allies in Port Charles. Or, at the very least, trusting Sunny to do his part with the diamonds and give her the financial stability she needs. Maybe the writers are using her rushed departure to create drama and suspense, but without addressing the diamond situation more clearly, it leaves viewers wondering if there's another angle to the story. It could be that Holly has some hidden motives or is feeling too pressured by the syndicate's demands, but the storyline would benefit from some clarification. You definitely didn't miss anything obvious. It's just one of those mysteries that still needs some ironing out. Timing Lulu's wake-up with the anniversary of Luke and Laura's iconic wedding would be a genius move on the writer's part. With such a meaningful date approaching, it would be the perfect way to pay tribute to one of the biggest moments in soap history while giving the Spencer family and longtime fans something deeply nostalgic and rewarding. If they do bring Lulu back on Friday, it would be such a fitting nod to General Hospital's legacy. Even though Luke and Laura can't reunite, the moment would still feel significant for Elle and Elle fans, connecting their legacy through Lulu's awakening. And flashbacks to Lulu's birth would be such a beautiful touch, bringing back memories of the original Spencer family and all the emotions that come with it. Let's hope the show pulls out all the stops if this is their plan, because it would be a powerful way to honor those classic moments and give Elle and Elle fans a heartwarming connection to the past. It is fascinating how time and perspective can completely change how we view characters, especially in soap operas like General Hospital. Elizabeth and Lucky's storyline is a prime example of how shifting narratives can alter fan perceptions. Back in 2011, Elizabeth was widely disliked for her affair with Nicholas and her manipulative behavior toward Lucky, including using her children to hold onto him despite his obvious heartbreak. The storyline painted her as the villain, while Lucky was the sympathetic one, trying to do the right thing even as he dealt with the fallout of her secrets. But now, in 2024, the roles have reversed in many fans' eyes. Elizabeth is often seen as a more sympathetic character, especially in comparison to Lucky, who has earned the reputation of being a toxic, unreliable, and absent father. It's a testament to how soaps evolve, with writers and producers altering the course of characters based on new creative directions, changing their personalities or motivations to fit current storylines or themes. This dynamic is especially true in General Hospital, where shifts in writing and production have completely redefined characters like Elizabeth and Lucky. It's also true that General Hospital, like many long-running soaps, has seen its history rewritten over time, as writers make adjustments based on what they want to explore. For some, these changes feel like character assassinations, like with Tony Jones, who was once a beloved character but later saw his arc take a darker turn. It's frustrating when beloved characters get altered or forgotten in favor of newer, more dramatic storylines. It's a unique challenge for longtime viewers to reconcile the characters they loved with how they're written today, but it also speaks to the unpredictable, ever-changing nature of soaps. The ever-changing nature of soap operas is part of what keeps them interesting, but it can also make for some uncomfortable shifts in how characters are remembered. The key is to remember the heart of those characters, even if the storylines around them change. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.